Tonight, Canadian steel reinforced.
This government will do whatever it takes to protect our sectors.
Supports and initiatives to lighten the load carried by foreign products. Plus, finalizing the budget.
We're not going to veto any of the changes council made.
London's 2026 spending plan locked in, the last before next year's election. And forced relocation.
Just let the grade 9 students stay and graduate at their school.
The Catholic School Board blaming overcrowding for transferring students.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a message from the Prime Minister offering an economic lifeline for Canadian steel products. The industry is coping with 50% import duties. Judy Trin has more on the measures announced today to strengthen the domestic sector.
After enduring half a year of Donald Trump's 50% tariffs, Canada's steel industry is teetering on the edge.
Our order books are not being filled up at this moment because nobody's investing. It's such a real perilous time.
We must protect our workers and our industries who are most exposed to U.S. tariffs.
The Liberal government is introducing new measures to reduce the amount of foreign steel. The countries that Canada does not have a free trade agreement with will face lower quotas. Steel from countries like China, Taiwan, India, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates will now be limited to 20% of what they sold to Canada in 2024. The government estimates that could boost domestic steel sales by $850 million. Other countries with free trade agreements will be capped at 75% of what they sold last year. But U.S. imports won't be capped. But all American steel products will continue to face 25% tariffs.
This government will do whatever it takes to protect our sectors and not just protect them, but to help them reposition for the new global economy.
The government will also subsidize the cost of transporting steel and lumber by rail across the country. Internationally, when it comes to big defense procurements like submarines, Canada will continue making Buy Canadian a requirement.
We will absolutely make sure that there are steel and aluminum and sometimes, depending, lumber requirements, because we need to protect jobs in these tariff sectors.
Those were the carrots, but there's also a stick. The government announced it will end remissions or refunds for Canadian companies impacted by U.S. tariffs by January 31st. Mark Carney also said that he spoke with President Trump last night and that he will be headed to Washington next week as part of FIFA World Cup events. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Budget deliberations have wrapped up at City Hall with no mayoral vetoes expected. The property tax increase is set at 3.4% for next year, much lower than recent increases. Daryl Newcomb has more on London's last budget before next year's election.
This is one area where we can make a difference. This is a proactive program. We're keeping people housed.
Councillor Hadley McAllister argued that redirecting $250,000 from a council reserve fund to the rent bank would help more Londoners struggling to pay their rent and utilities. After a motion to top up the rent bank was not approved by the Budget Committee last week, the Salvation Army sent a letter to council explaining how demand exceeds the available funds each month. The deputy mayor said he could support one-time funding just for 2026 because it isn't coming from taxes.
I don't think it's good to take from one household to do support on rental for another household.
This is a compassionate program. I would have preferred to see it at the higher level, but I'm very happy.
Council unanimously supported adding to the rent bank. It was the only last-minute change before they finalized the 2026 budget. It includes a property tax increase of 3.4%, equal to about $130 more on the average tax bill. Combined with water and sewer increases, the average London household will pay $160 more next year. The mayor has decided not to oppose council's changes to his budget, including not reducing the street maintenance budget, extending free core area parking to 2 hours, and not reducing the annual resident satisfaction survey to every other year.
No, I'm not going to veto any of the changes council made. I'll provide that formal recognition of the not exercising the mayor's veto tomorrow.
The context under which these budget deliberations took place also significant, as London is only 11 months away from the next municipal election. Ahead of his re-election campaign, Morgan seems confident defending his multi-year budget.
The track record in this budget is pretty clear. We had to make some significant investments in some critical areas. Public safety, transit, housing and homelessness, and we actually invested a historic amount in libraries as well.
The first 3 years of his multi-year budget resulted in tax increases of 8.7%, 7.3%, and now 3.4%.
You'll see us going in a direction that is bringing tax rates down over time, and others are going up. But we are seeing the results from those critical investments, and I think that's what Londoners can weigh, is do they feel they got value for that money?
Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
New stats on Canadian healthcare show thousands of patients have died waiting for surgery in this country just in the last year. Heather Wright has more on the impact for families when their loved ones are stuck on a wait list.
Debbie Fuster was expecting a straightforward triple bypass operation, a few days in hospital and then recovery at home. Except the Manitoba woman died before ever getting the surgery.
It still feels like shock.
Daniel Fuster says doctors told his mom she needed heart surgery within 3 weeks. She was left waiting for nearly 3 months.
There was some major mess ups that resulted in her file basically not going to where it needed to go.
Fuster is not alone. According to public policy think tank secondstreet.org, nearly 25,000 patients died in Canada while waiting for surgeries or diagnostic procedures between April 2024 and March 2025. But the organization warns the numbers are likely higher, as many provinces don't track these deaths or only collect partial data.
Fundamentally, these are embarrassing numbers, and I think that's why governments are not keen to go out and track them carefully.
Second Street is calling on all provinces and territories to track and disclose these deaths. They also want to see hospital funding tied directly to performance, a reform they believe will improve wait times.
It's crazy to keep doing the same thing, throwing money at the system and hoping something will change.
Another proposed reform is Debbie's Law, a Manitoba private member's bill championed by the Fuster family, which would require health authorities to inform patients when life-saving treatment cannot be provided in a timely manner.
Debbie's Law is not perfect. It's not going to solve every problem, but it is a great starting point to begin asking for transparency.
This year's numbers mark a 3% increase from last year, and according to Second Street, since 2018, more than 100,000 people have died in Canada while waiting for some sort of surgery or procedure. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
We are live on location tonight at the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southwestern Ontario. Of course, as many of you know, the Ronald McDonald House Charities keeps families close when their loved one is receiving treatment at the hospital. We have little Zach here. He loves the microphone. Zach, can you say hi? Hi. Hi, this is his mom, Sophie, and they are the Seabrook family, and they have been staying at the home for how long, Sophie?
So we've been here for a total of 248 nights, and we've been back and forth from Sault Ste. Marie since January.
So the Ronald McDonald House serves families from Sault Ste. Marie to Windsor to London, and tonight we're kicking off the giving season, and we're going to illuminate the house. What has your experience been like, obviously having an ill child? Zach's only 3. Zach, you're 3? Yeah. Zach's only 3 years old, and being here obviously has been a trying time for your family, but what has your experience been like?
We have had nothing but positive experience being here. The staff, the volunteers, all the workers and families here have been absolutely amazing in comfort, support, anything we could have ever asked for, especially during this journey.
All right, well, Zach, I think, really wants to light up the house. So we're going to count down. Zach, are you ready to count from 5?
Okay, ready?
Okay, here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is what it's all about. So kicking off the giving season here at the Ronald McDonald House of Charities of Southwestern Ontario. And tonight they're kicking off Illuminate the Region, which means, of course, serving families around our region, keeping them close, of course, comfort, support, a meal, a bed. There are 40 beds here. We're going to talk more about that coming up. And a very special gift that was presented here this evening. We'll talk about that coming up. But what a night. I think Zach's back on track over here. He's having a good time. We do have some festive flurries in the air. Temperatures are on the cold side with the passage of a cold front today. It was a powerful one with wind gusts out of the southwest, upwards of 70 kilometers per hour. We remain under a special weather statement. The temperature has now dropped to +1 after a high of 10 degrees this morning. We do have flurries in and around the area and a few flurries in the forecast tonight, but also snow squall warnings in effect and through Huron and Perth County, Grey and Bruce. As we head through the late evening and overnight, we are expecting squalls to intensify, leading to upwards of 5 to 10 centimeters by tomorrow morning and 20 to 25 centimeters as we head through your Thursday. In London, flurries in the forecast. We'll talk about amounts coming up tomorrow afternoon, but we're talking about some chilly air arriving overnight, the temperature dropping down to about -1 with a wind chill of -9. Zach, thank you so much for helping us out, sweetie. I think he wants to go have some fun. There's hot chocolate, there's cookies, there's people here having a great time. Illuminate the House, really kicking off the holiday season here at the home. I'll have more on your local forecast details and, of course, more on this fantastic part of our community and really helping so many in and around our region. Again, Illuminate the Region, live from the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southwestern Ontario tonight. Thank you.
Julie, thanks very much. A multi-vehicle crash on Adelaide sent 2 people to hospital this morning. 2 cars and a pickup were involved. One car appeared almost completely split in half. Police say one of the people taken to hospital has serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The other was transported as a precaution. Provincial police say they've charged a London man with first-degree murder for a homicide in Bolton almost 5 years ago. According to police, 2 suspects entered a home in January 2021, shooting 2 people inside. A 65-year-old man was pronounced dead at the scene. Today, OPP say a 32-year-old from London faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder, while 3 other suspects have been arrested. Meanwhile, a Canada-wide arrest warrant has been issued for 48-year-old Londoner Wahid Baraksi. He's charged with first-degree murder as well. Police say the public should not approach Baraksi if they see him. London police say one of their officers, who was already suspended, has been charged with impaired driving. Police say Ryan Pockernich was arrested early Tuesday morning after someone reported a suspected drunk driver near Oxford and Warncliffe. He had been previously suspended with pay for misconduct allegations. London police have announced charges against more people after a large anti-war protest outside RBC Place last month. They say 4 people from London, Hamilton, Toronto and Marmora now face charges. According to police, they were laid after search warrants were executed at 4 addresses. Police say they seized smoke bombs, hard drives, and protest placards. The charges range from obstructing police to mischief. Police say they're also looking for another person, 43-year-old Diana Thorpe from Toronto. Last month, police said they charged a man from LaSalle and a woman from Owen Sound for their roles in the October 21st demonstration. Parents of students at Mother Teresa Catholic Secondary say they were blindsided by a letter this month indicating their kids would have to transfer to a new high school next year. School board officials say it's because of overcrowding. As Lawrence Delone reports, parents disagree.
Randy Diaz is concerned for her son Madden's future after receiving an email from his high school, Mother Teresa Catholic Secondary, that he, along with 43 other grade 9 French immersion students, would be reassigned next year.
As of grade 10, they need to be transferred to RMC.
Diaz says the news came as a shock to several parents and claims they were not consulted at any parent council meeting prior.
It's up to us as the adults to speak clearly and be the voice for the children. And I just feel like, again, everybody's doing the best that they can, but this should have been not thrown at us November 10th.
Diaz says the impact on students will be huge.
This is not just going to affect how they move forward in their schooling, but it's a bit of a setback for them.
She also says many parents will suffer a financial hit as a result of the transfer.
We've invested hundreds and hundreds of dollars into uniforms for our children to attend MTS. So if we're being forced to now send our kids to RMC, is there going to be some sort of compensation for those uniforms?
In a statement to CTV News, London District Catholic School Board says for the 6th consecutive year, the LDCSB continues to be the fastest growing school board in Ontario, with enrollment now surpassing 28,000 students. To meet this unprecedented growth and increasing secondary student demand for French immersion programming, the new Regina Mundi College will join Mother Teresa Catholic Secondary School as the second secondary French immersion location in London for the 2026-27 school year. The statement goes on to say, new school construction and portables are helping with the rapid growth across our district. Plans are underway to build 4 additional new schools, 2 elementary schools in London, and secondary schools in London and St. Thomas.
My response to that is this isn't something that just happened overnight. They were over capacity last year.
Diaz says her request is simple.
Just let the grade 9 students stay and graduate at their school.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Municipal officials in St. Thomas are offering breaks on development charges for any builders constructing townhomes with secondary units already finished in the basement.
But the key is it's a new unit being built from scratch and being built to code. So it's safe, it's fireproofed properly, and it's properly constructed and it's brand new.
6 new townhomes will be built on Shaw Valley Drive with plans for 29 additional homes. It's a city council initiative to create more affordable units in new areas of St. Thomas. Municipal officials say developers will get $12,000 rebates for each unit built. The basement units are expected to rent for about $1,200 a month.
The chartered banks count 3/4 of the rental income towards your income test in qualifying for a mortgage. So that's a huge advantage for someone trying to get into the market and buy a house.
That's the big difference. For us to be able to use our community improvement plan funding, we usually use it to outfit a brand new apartment above a downtown store or something. But to take it for a new building, an affordable home for a new home buyer, what a great concept.
When we come back, the London Majors are going pro. Details on major changes coming to the Inter-County Baseball League for next season. The Tee-Up with Brent Lael is up next.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
Listen up, you have just over 24 hours left to get your ticket for the Dream Lottery. Final deadline, midnight tomorrow. Your last opportunity to choose between 3 grand prize options, one of 2 London Dream homes. I'm in one of them. Each one comes with $100,000 cash, or take the cash, $1 million in your pocket before Christmas, plus tons of other prizes. But the biggest impact of this Dream Lottery is funding our London hospitals. I have John McFarland from London Health Sciences Foundation. How important is the lottery for you?
Sherry, not only amazing prizes, but most importantly, you're supporting your local hospitals. That's cutting-edge research, state-of-the-art equipment, and other patient care initiatives that benefit us all. So please support your hospitals.
And you want to get your ticket before midnight tomorrow night? Why don't you do it tonight? It's a cold, blustery night. Go to dreamitwinit.ca. Check out the pictures, the videos of these gorgeous dream homes. Get your ticket and good luck.
Tis the season for helping others, and the Business Cares Food Drive is how we can all help Londoners in need. On November 29th and 30th, over 40 participating grocery stores and hundreds of volunteers will be collecting food and donations. Over 40% of people who use the London Food Bank are children, so your support is needed now more than ever. Let's ensure everyone has a happy holiday.
Welcome back. It's time for the Tee Up with Brent Lael. And Brent, the winter season of high school sports is underway after the fall season ended today with the final OFSA games.
Yeah, 1 Sarnia and 3 London schools won medals at the Ontario Championships this week. Monsignor Briere took silver in single A boys volleyball. Sarnia St. Pat's did the same in AAA girls basketball, and the Lucas Vikings won bronze. The Vikings were a true underdog story. They were only 4th place in TV Raw and had to win a playoff game just to get to WSIB. There, they were the 3 seed and surprisingly won the tournament. At OFSA, they entered as the 5 seed and made it all the way to the semis before finishing 3rd in Ontario.
We were the underdogs, so we had no pressure on us, and I think that helped us a lot because the other teams, they had that pressure. And then we won WSIB, and that was amazing. And then going into OFSA as well, we were in a good seed, but we didn't have a ton of pressure on us. It was just, we're there, we're making great experiences, and that made us go very far.
This has been the best experience ever. Like, it's not often that you'll find a team with as good of a bond as us. Like, these are all my best friends right now, and I think that's what carried us. I think the bond of the team is better than any type of skill that you can have, so that's just really what carried us through this season.
And as we saw on Monday, the #1 ranked CCH Crusaders took on Bishop Ryan from Hamilton. They dominated both sides of the ball with a power run game and smothering defense to win the Western Bowl 25-0. They've now won back-to-back OFSA titles, and they're one of the greatest teams in London high school football history who destroyed the competition.
Now, Brent, Western athletes were up bright and early this morning for the annual Scholar Breakfast.
Yeah, Western is #1 in the country when it comes to total numbers. 559 athletes achieved an 80% average. That's really tough to do, balancing sports and school, but Western does it better than anyone. And a special milestone for Western basketball head coach Bradley Campbell. After 21 seasons as bench boss, he surpassed his former mentor Craig Boydell in all-time U Sports victories at the school with 284. Western is 14-8, first in the OUA West, and ranked among the best teams in Canada.
Now, the overhaul of the Sarnia Sting organization continues. They fired head coach Alan Letang this week.
Yeah, prior to the season, Mark Guy and Ryan Finch purchased this team, and with just 6 wins through 23 games, the franchise has made a coaching change. This week, they hired Matthew Turcotte as their new head coach. He brings extensive experience from the Quebec League, Hockey Canada, and development programs. His recent work includes a gold medal as head coach of Canada White at the U17 Challenge last year and a silver at the U18s as an assistant.
And this week, Brent, the Inter-County Baseball League announced it would be rebranding to a professional league.
Yeah, this is more of a procedural move, Carlyle, to make sure all the teams are filing proper paperwork and making payments to the players more formal. But there was one particular on-field change which will improve the fan experience. Say goodbye to those 4-hour Inter-County Baseball League games.
We're going to have a pitch clock.
This week, the IBL rebranded to a professional league, calling itself the CBL. Among the major changes will be the implementation of a 15 to 18-second pitch timer, similar to Major League Baseball.
We got a bunch of kids, young kids that need to get to bed by 10:30. At the latest, hopefully we're getting them home in time, cut the games down 20 minutes or so.
Former pitcher and 2-time IBL champion Braden Farrington is in favor.
You don't want to be there for 4 hours. It's especially when you see big league games coming in at 2 hours, 220, max 250.
The regular season and playoff formats will be restructured. A salary cap and more import spots will be added. The changes come at a time when attendance is booming. Last season, nearly 250,000 fans watched the IBL.
The talent in this league has been tremendously improving year over year to the point where we had, I think, over 60 players last year who had either Major League or minor league baseball experience.
That included former big league all-star Fernando Rodney.
In order to attract the best talent and compete in this league and win, we have to become professional and start paying them. To date, players have come in for a variety of different costs and expenses that we've reimbursed them for, mileage and travel costs, and in some cases accommodation, and some other types of per diems. But in order to take it to the next level, we have to become a professional.
As a player, it gives you more security and, free space to have an understanding of, okay, I am getting paid, not when I'm getting paid. That's going to draw bigger and better players that have played somewhere.
The league also says the ticket prices shouldn't be impacted by the rebrand, and they will be preserving the 108-year history of the IBL. Brent Lale, CTV News.
Heading back to Ronald McDonald House now, rejoining Julie Atchison live on location for us tonight. Julie, over to you.
Thank you so much, Carlyle. Tonight is a very special night. Illuminate the region. Tonight we illuminated the house. We're joined by Matthew Chater, CEO of the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southwestern Ontario, and his sons Thomas and Hayden. And of course, tonight is all about families, keeping families close while children are receiving medical care at the hospital. Their families stay right here at the home. They support about 40 families, and 40 families will be staying here over the holidays. Matthew, tell us a little bit about tonight. It was a very special night. You received a very a monumental and changing gift.
That's right. So we're so excited to announce tonight a $1 million transformational investment from the Spreet family, Helen and Andy Spreet, really supporting our vision for growth here in London for Ronald McDonald House. We know that nationally we're meeting only 20% of the need, unfortunately, and so we've really cast a vision to grow not only by a bit, but to double in size, going from 40 bedrooms to 80 bedrooms. And so as we're continuing to build and bring that vision to life, this investment from the Spreets is just transformative.
And tell us a little bit about Illuminate the Region. I talked about the family, the Seabrook family from Sault Ste. Marie coming all this way, and that's really something you're trying to focus on.
That's right. It's really spreading awareness about our entire Southwestern Ontario region. We are physically located here in London, and we have our house in Windsor as well. And so often people think that we're a London charity, but the families that we support, over 563 families alone this year, from rural communities outside of London, stayed here and called us home. And so Illuminate the Region really brings that attention, that from Sault Ste. Marie down to Windsor, St. Thomas, Owen Sound, Thunder Bay, this is their home.
And this is a big campaign that you're undertaking. How can people support the home?
Yeah, there's a number of ways to give. So our Illuminate campaign is running now until the end of December 31st. And so Ronald McDonald House, SWO.ca is the website to be able to go to. You can make a direct donation there. Also just connecting with our team over the holiday season. The holiday season is upon us, and we love to be the recipient of many generous donors at this time of year, but all the time as well. And so we were happy to have a conversation with anyone who's looking to support Ronald McDonald House.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. Again, it's Illuminate the House. Are you guys having fun?
I am.
Yeah, what's the best part about tonight?
I would say seeing the lights light up and all the joy going around people and families.
And kicking off the holiday season, how about you?
Having everyone coming to this event and yeah.
The hot chocolate, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hot chocolate, the treats. It's a great night down here, and families supporting families. That's what the Ronald McDonald House Charities is about. Let's take a look at conditions across our region today. Doesn't feel like 10 degrees outside right now. It sure isn't. 10 degrees is our high. That was this morning. Our temperature dropped down to 2 degrees this afternoon, comparing that with what's normal for this time of year. A normal daytime high around +5. We've already dipped to the freezing mark. The pressure is falling, and the winds out of the southwest, 37 kilometers per hour, but we have had gusts at the London airport close to 60. Satellite radar showing that transition. We had the rain early in the day that was associated with the cold front. Now we're seeing the snowfall develop as the temperature drops. We got lots of moisture out there. Lake effect snow squalls developing tonight, leading to squalls and blowing snow in through Huron, Perth, Grey, and Bruce County. Cold air is wrapping around that area of low pressure. Look at the origins of that cold as we head to the northwest, -3 to -4 towards Thunder Bay. Southern Manitoba, even Regina now -7. So we're talking wind chills tonight, close to a -9. In London, we'll dip down to a -1. Along the lakeshore, 0 to +1, but it'll be the squalls that develop tonight in through Huron, Perth County that will be quite intense. Now let's watch it together on this forecast model. You can see that little burst of snow coming in, but it's really the heavy squalls that align off the lake and stream into the area. That's blowing snow. The winds will continue to gust. We remain under a special weather statement. Gusty winds out of the southwest, 40 with gusts to 70, and we will see some intense streamers of snow squalls stretching all the way down Lake Huron, all the way across southern Ontario toward Lake Erie. Now, snowfall amounts will be extremely varied. This will be a multi-day snow squall event. Of course, in London, you're seeing that 6 centimeters. So Potential for about 2 to 4 centimeters tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and then the risk for flurries as we head into your Friday. So tomorrow morning, we'll see some flurries around, winds out of the west, still gusting to 60 kilometers per hour. The light accumulation will happen tomorrow evening in London, but north of London is where we're expecting that heavier amount of snowfall to accumulate. We could see 15 to 25 centimeters of snow. Flurries in the forecast, gusty winds on Friday, mainly cloudy on Saturday, the high +1. We'll hit 3 degrees on Sunday with the potential of a rain-snow mix. Temperatures drop early next week. That's the official kickoff to meteorological winter, December 1st at -2 on Monday. Feeling a whole lot colder than that, and we'll be back into a mix of sun and cloud on Wednesday. As we head to Midwestern Ontario, snowfall and snow squalls, a multi-day snow squall event. I mentioned the potential for 15 to 30 centimeters. Some areas will see more. We likely will see some road closures with that blowing snow expected and those strong gusty winds. Heading into the weekend, flurries around, but the heavy winds wind down. Rain snow mix on Sunday. That's a low pressure system out of the American Midwest. And a little bit of chilly air on the move early next week. We'll have you singing the winter fun season that is ahead for all of us tonight, really getting a taste of that. So it's the Illuminate the House. Definitely a wonderful evening to light up this house. I've been doing it for many years. I spent some time here at the home, and it is such a wonderful, warm, welcoming place. I can't say that enough. They have some pretty awesome cookies and a really wonderful chef in there as well, Kim. But definitely a wonderful night tonight. So many people out experiencing the evening despite the weather conditions. I have to say, Carlyle, this is one of the coldest years we've been down here, but lots of hot chocolate flowing and lots of people still out enjoying the night.
That helps for sure. Thanks very much, Julie. Coming up, sales momentum in the housing market, why real estate experts are predicting more action in 2026.
How good are you at tongue twisters? Tomorrow morning at 7:10, we have our weekly Pure Puppy Pigskin Picks.
Also, we're going to tell you about Big Sandwich Day, a new day we're all going to celebrate.
For the first time in forever, the story of Elsa and Anna comes to life on the Grand Theater stage with Disney's Frozen, the Broadway musical, on until January 4th. Enter online at ctvlondon.ca for your chance to score an Arundel prize pack for 4.
Ontario's Financial Accountability Office has released its latest data on the province's economy. According to the FAO, there was a 0.6% decline in real GDP in the second quarter of 2025, and the province's economy was mostly unchanged in Q3. There were losses in employment and lower international exports, but there were gains in retail sales, wholesale trade, manufacturing sales, and housing. There was a slight increase to Ontario's inflation rate, and the province may also avoid a technical recession. Tech company Nokia has broken ground on a new research campus near Ottawa.
This is what sovereign AI, which is a phrase people use, looks like in practice. It means employing Canadians, building tech right here, deploying the tech throughout the world.
According to Nokia officials, it will be a 750,000 square foot facility. Federal government officials say the $340 million project includes $70 million in government funding, a partnership to expand Canadian 5G research and development. Canadian real estate experts say home sales could pick up next year with strong demand and built-up inventory. With more on the expectations for 2026, here's Scott Hurst.
It has been a turbulent year for the Canadian housing market and really the Canadian economy as a whole. But the housing market has shown signs of momentum late in the year, with home sales picking up. According to the latest national numbers from the Canadian Real Estate Association, home sales recorded monthly gains in 6 of the last 7 months, and that's expected to continue into next year. RE/MAX is also out with its 2026 Canadian housing market outlook, and the projections could have a lot of people getting off the sidelines. According to RE/MAX, sales are expected to pick up on average nationally almost 3.5% next year, with prices expected to fall some 3.7%. And according to the survey, 10% of respondents plan to buy a home in the next 12 months. That's up from 7% earlier this year, and half of them are likely to be first-time homebuyers. RE/MAX is citing added inventory as one of the factors that's been moderating the price this year, with listings in 2025 increasing year over year in a majority of regions across the country. The added supply has been a factor in pushing prices lower, coupled with falling interest rates that are becoming much more favorable from a buyer's perspective. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Strength in the base metal sector helped Canada's main stock index rise. The TSX gained 280 points. In New York, the Dow added 315, the Nasdaq up 189. The Canadian dollar gained a quarter cent today. On commodity markets, gold is up $25 an ounce. Oil added 70 cents a barrel. Still ahead, a Chicago school dedicated to the art of brewing beer relocating to Montreal. Welcome back. A woman going through cancer treatment in Owen Sound says cancer care in Grey and Bruce counties must be overhauled. With more on her concerns, here's Scott Miller.
Pat Kelly is fighting her third bout of cancer. This time, it's palliative. She receives her treatment at the Bright Shores Cancer Care Center in Owen Sound. She loves her oncologists and nurses, but fears for the future of cancer care in Owen Sound.
I wish everybody in the country had a cancer center like we do. But we're going to lose ours because we cannot continue to expect 2 oncologists and all of those nurses to continue to keep that cancer center alive.
Last November, due to a shortage of oncologists, Bright Shores Health System started referring all new cancer patients not diagnosed with breast, colorectal, or lung cancer to cancer centers in Barrie, Kitchener, and London. News that disappointed but did not surprise Kelly, who's been a cancer care advocate since her first cancer diagnosis in 1987.
They are not supported by government, not supported by the administration, and no one is looking at the fact that we have not been able to retain, let alone replace, the oncologists we have. The same people doing the same job for 20 years and are not successful. It's time for new leadership there.
Bright Shore says they've been scouring the world to try and find a third oncologist with no luck so far. Hospital officials say they've recently hired a part-time medical oncologist, which has got them back on track for the time being. This interim solution has minimized the impact on patients and supported our dedicated physicians and staff at the Cancer Center. In September, we were able to resume our full-service model at the Cancer Center, eliminating the need to redirect some patients to nearby hospitals. Kelly says Owen Sound's cancer care is still on life support in her mind. If one of their 2 oncologists leaves, she's worried Grey Bruce cancer patients will once again have to travel hundreds of kilometers for care. She's written Ontario's Ombudsman and the Ministry of Health asking for them to intervene in order to save cancer care in the region.
Cancer patients should not be begging to keep their oncologists.
Recruitment remains a top priority at Bright Shore, say hospital officials, who say they are fully committed to delivering exceptional cancer care. Earlier this year, we were in advanced discussions with a highly promising candidate. However, that recruitment did not move forward. We remain focused and proactive in our efforts to fill this critical role and will continue to pursue every opportunity to strengthen our cancer program.
The jewel in the crown is our cancer system, and it is circling the drain.
In Owen Sound, Scott Miller, CTV News.
A high-rise development is closer to reality in Hyde Park after council blocked a heritage designation for a historic landmark.
I'm not going to support the heritage designation at this time. I will continue to discuss with the developer ways that this can be commemorated in an effective way.
The 150-year-old building is home to the Crossings pub. Instead of heritage protection, 10 city councillors supported a developer's plan to build 2 15-story apartment buildings on the site, decisions that went against recommendations from city planners. More than 500 small businesses in London will lose their Blue Box collection in January when private companies take over curbside recycling collection. Right now, 535 small businesses have their Blue Boxes collected because the municipal service is already collecting from nearby homes. However, when the province switches responsibility to companies that produce packaging, only residential Blue Boxes will be emptied. The mayor says in order to maintain the current service, a separate city-run truck system would be required.
The city's going to look into what sort of mitigative factors it can put in place. The challenge we have is that given there is no longer a provincial program, anything we put in place may be advantaging one business over another. The reason we were able to pick this up is because we were driving by anyways when the Blue Box program was our responsibility.
The countdown is on. The last chance for you to become a millionaire before Christmas. Can you imagine that? Dream Lottery's final deadline is midnight tomorrow. Your final chance to choose between one of 2 London Dream homes. We are in one of them now. They're gorgeous. Each comes with $100,000 cash, or take the cash, $1 million. I have John McFarlane here from London Health Sciences Foundation. And John, what would you tell people about why they need to get a ticket tonight?
2 great reasons, Sherry. one, the opportunity to win, like you mentioned, this beautiful home, or $1 million or other prizes. But perhaps most importantly, you get to support our local hospitals. All the proceeds stay right here in London to help all of us in terms of healthcare, equipment, and so on.
So important. Get your ticket before midnight tomorrow night. Remember, there's also that 50-50. The jackpot continues to grow. And the Making a Difference calendar. Can't win without a ticket. Get yours tonight.
Welcome back. The province's Workplace Safety Insurance Board has officially moved into its new permanent headquarters, relocating from downtown Toronto. With more on the new digs inside the former 3M building in East London, here's Brian Bicknell.
300 Tartan Drive, London, now headquarters for the Ontario Workplace Safety Insurance Board, part of a move to decentralize Ontario's crown corporations, according to WSIB President and CEO Jeffrey Lang.
The Premier made it very clear when he asked me to do this. He said, let's bring some of these larger organizations out into the province. And so he chose London. I'm very happy that he did.
In 2022, the province announced it was moving WSIB from its office on Front Street in Toronto. Not long after, the former 3M office tower in East London was purchased for $21 million, reportedly about half of market value at that time. The move is expected to save the organization about $70 million per year.
Real estate values are about half of what they are in Toronto. So it made a lot of sense from an economic standpoint to locate outside of the GTA. But for us, and it also helps us attract people. Because, you know, we had 3,000 employees in Toronto, and it's expensive to live in Toronto.
WSIB has been in this space since June. About 500 people currently work here, half of them having relocated from offices around the province. Eventually, up to 1,000 people are expected to work at this site. The move also means the closure of the downtown London office of WSIB.
We had about 250 people working in the London area. We had an office on Dufferin Street, and when this became available, of course, they're moving in here now, and we've got our senior executives and our learning and development centers.
The building is 110,000 square feet in size and has undergone several $1 million in renovations. It's located on a 50-acre property, which also supports the London Food Bank with a 1-acre on-site vegetable garden. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
A renowned American brewing school is relocating to Montreal. Officials with the institution say changes to the U.S. political landscape are behind the move. With more, here's Jean-Pierre Beauchemin.
This nondescript Montreal address, just a few blocks from the original site of Molson, the oldest brewery in North America, is soon to be home to a prestigious beer brewing school. Since 1872, the famed Siebel Institute has taught the fine art and science of brewing to generations in Chicago. But it has announced it will soon be last call in the U.S. Siebel issued a statement pointing to changes under the Trump administration. Recent regulatory changes in the U.S. have made it much more challenging for many of our international students who have become the majority of our student body to attend classes in person. To many in the brewery scene in the U.S., the loss of Siebel, woven into the history of Chicago, is heartbreaking.
But it truly is just a Chicago institution. And, you know, if you talk to brewers of the modern era, not just in Chicago, but across the nation, it really is the place where people go and learn the trade.
So that's where we actually brew the beer here?
Quatre Origines has been brewing craft beer in Quebec since 2018. On tap from Montreal now, says the president, Michael Dornelas, is a university of beer.
Siebel Institute coming to Canada is big news. Essentially, they offer a wide range of education options specifically for this industry.
A prominent addition to Quebec's already vibrant scene as knowledge and workers will spill over.
I really think It's going to focus a lot of attention onto Montreal as a destination for beer, which the U.S. that's where all the focus is for craft beer. Like, we learned from them.
And the move is expected to come into effect as of this January. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest in the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
It's time to build a toy mountain. Make this holiday season merry for so many kids. Bring new unwrapped toys to CF Masonville Place.
All in support of the Salvation Army. We will be collecting donations November 21st to December 24th.
With all donations helping families right here in our community. Toy Mountain, supported by Gomez Appliances, London Bass Center, and UBC Built Local 1946.
Let's make this the best toy mountain ever. Visit ctvlondon.ca for more ways to donate.
Finally tonight, a London man is back home after what he calls one of the highest honors of his life, an invitation to meet Queen Camilla in the UK. As Rita Ismail reports, the retired Reverend was recognized for years of volunteer work.
Retired Reverend Keith McKee and his wife Jan have just returned from London, England, where Keith was invited by Buckingham Palace to meet the Queen.
This is the awards ceremony, including...
For more than 9 years, McKee has volunteered as a judge for the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition, the world's oldest writing contest for young people, with Queen Camilla as its patron.
I started off judging about 150 essays a year, but last year I judged 500. So in total, I think it's about 3,000 essays that I have judged.
This year, Her Majesty personally requested that McKee attend the annual awards luncheon at St. James's Palace to thank him for his work promoting literacy around the world. Newly retired and with a long history of community service in London, McKee says the invitation was something he couldn't turn down.
Jumped at this opportunity to travel with my wife, and so I went to the competition.
Many of the essays came from Canada.
Inside St. James's Palace, the very room where King Charles III was proclaimed king, McKee joined diplomats, ambassadors, and the contest's young winners to meet Queen Camilla.
The Queen is an extraordinarily gracious woman. She has a beautiful smile, a great sense of humor, and she has a profound interest in Canada. Back in March, I was awarded the King Charles III Coronation Medal by Her Honor Edith Dumont, the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, for the work that I do with the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition.
Outside of meeting Her Royal Majesty, Keith noted another highlight from his trip.
I never thought, as a Presbyterian minister, I would ever drink champagne with Jerry Halliwell Horner, who is one of the Spice Girls, but I ended up doing that. She's been an ambassador for a couple of years. It was incredible.
Reverend McKee says he'll continue promoting the essay competition across Canada, hoping even more young writers will submit entries next year. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. A note for tomorrow, our 6 p.m. newscast will be online at ctvnewslondon.ca because of American Thanksgiving NFL coverage. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.